Hi, everyone. Welcome to Create a Space for Love. Transform your home environment and mindset to attract the romantic love you desire. I'm your host, Katie Tai, and today I have the pleasure of interviewing Marie Diamond. Marie, welcome.
Thank you so much. Looking forward to this interview.
Me too. Marie Diamond is a globally renowned transformational leader, speaker, and international best-selling author. Star in the worldwide phenomenon The Secret. She uses her extraordinary knowledge of energy, quantum physics, the law of attraction, and ancient wisdom like meditation, Feng Shui, and dowsing to support individuals, organizations, and corporations to transform their success, financial situation, relationships, motivation, and inspiration. Visit her at www.mariediamond.com. Awesome. So if it's okay, I'll just jump right in and start asking
Yeah,
questions.
of course, go
All
ahead.
right, I'm excited. Um, so the masculine and feminine energy in space, the balance of the yin and yang, how does that pertain into bringing in and keeping that romantic partner?
Mm. I would say most women, they are definitely creating sometimes too much yin spaces.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Um, because they always look at, what works for them instead of what works for both, the partners, right? And so, for example, when people, I see a lot of women, or they go totally white, everything is white,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I always say, in a white atmosphere, a man will not feel happy and will not thrive. He needs colors, he needs warmth, he needs to feel that he can come home to his partner, and it's like it's still based on that old primitive energy. He goes hunting and he comes back into his cave
Mm-hmm.
and wants to feel warm. He wants to have this fireplace, a little candle, because a candle always creates yang energy, some beautiful light, some warm colors, definitely earth colors like browns and oranges, and even some reds if you feel like that. But he needs to feel like he comes home and he feels relaxed.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel that's always the male energy that is needed. And so to have that in balance, definitely work with earth symbols, like crystals and candles, because that creates a very beautiful balance. And make sure there's also space for the partner. I see a lot of people, they don't create space. They like, making sure there's enough space for their closets and, everything that, their things, but they don't leave space for the man or the other
Mm-hmm.
partner. And that's a really important piece that I always suggest to people, like, have you given space for the partner, for their books, for their tools, for their, even if you don't really connect with that, like my husband loves cars, for example. I'm like, I don't understand that passion so much,
Yeah.
right? So he has tremendous amount of books on cars. So I could say, that doesn't have a space in my beautiful, designed living room, right? But I have made sure there was a basket for his things
Mm-hmm.
so he can grab it and put it in a place that was supporting him for sure. But I mean, it's not like something I think is so gracious and beautiful,
Mm-hmm.
but hey, it's giving space for the male energy that is my husband.
Yeah, I mean, and that goes for, I mean, to transcend women and men, right? Everyone just wants to feel like they're being represented in a
Yes,
space, right?
correct. That's why I'm saying man or partner,
Yeah.
depending what it is for you. It's like is I've seen sometimes women coming into a home that was already created by their partner,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
or men coming into a home that was created by their partner. And I'm like, have you designed something new? Have you thought about, like, what colors do you like, both of you? What are the images? And so many times, sometimes 4 or 5 years later, they said, I never felt home,
Mm-hmm.
because there was not even one picture that connected their past, or one image that represented them, or any of the books that they love on the coffee table. So it's like, it's one of the things when you are creating a new nest,
Mm-hmm.
is that you need to really make sure for both it feels welcoming and warm and
Mm-hmm.
supportive.
I love that you said that, Marie, because I've said ever since I became a designer, I always said when I move in with a guy, one day. I think we need to move into a space together. I don't want him to be moving into my space, and I don't want to be moving into his space because I just don't want to feel like, one or both of us has more of us in a space than the other, right?
Hmm.
So either just gut it and redesign or just move into a totally new place together. So I'm really glad that you brought that up.
No,
I think
it's an
it's really,
important piece. Yeah, definitely.
yeah,
I agree with that.
awesome. And I'm curious too, is there a way that we can use feng shui for healing past hurts and wounds from dating and relationships?
Well, one of the things that I see that as people are holding on to their emotions, they're also holding on to objects or
Mm-hmm.
images or letters or
Yeah.
photos from that past relationship. I still remember this woman, and she was like, "Oh, I'm totally over my guy," right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, "Okay, great." So I come in her living room, and this is image of this man like on a boat sailing away. And I said, well, the man sailed away. And she said, oh, that was actually a gift from my ex.
Oh,
And I'm like, well,
well.
interesting, right? This is like the first thing she sees, the last thing that she sees, the most important image of her living room.
Wow.
And I said, don't tell me you're still not connected in with him. And then she started crying. She said, yeah, we would like him to sail back in my life. I said, but he's not.
Oh,
He got
yeah.
married. And I said, but you're ultimately saying constantly any man, because not just the man, but any man, any partner
Mm-hmm.
is sailing away from me. So I asked her to take this away and
Yeah.
put it like in a hallway, somewhere where it's not a major feature,
Mm-hmm.
right, in her living room. And then she was like, "Oh my God!" So things opened up. People started dating with her, and it was like so strong. But she was subconsciously, and that's what happens. Your home is what I call a three-dimensional vision board.
Yes, I love that you said that.
And it's really interesting when everything around you is actually affecting you subconsciously. So the colors, the images, the way you position yourself, and this is actually the quantum physics field of feng shui,
Mm-hmm.
what most people don't go into. But I have seen over all these years that, when we are in a space that is supporting us through the rules of feng shui,
Mm-hmm.
we actually are going into what we call an alpha vibration, an alpha mindset.
Mm-hmm.
We change our mindset, and I've done so many tests about it with muscle testing with encephalograms that when you're in a space that is supportive for you,
Yeah.
you actually are going into alpha brainwave within 3 seconds the
Mm-hmm.
moment you change something. Most people live into a beta space.
Mm-hmm.
Beta space where you're not concentrated, you're getting upset, easier in conflict,
Mm-hmm.
you're drained.
Yeah.
When you're in alpha, you're inspired, you're joyful, you're happy,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like what we are right now with it, in our conversation. So, but it's really interesting. Most people cannot switch that on
Mm-hmm.
or switch that off. But if your environment is supporting you
Yeah.
in being in that space, then you will come home and you will feel at home. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you will feel energized to go to work.
Mm-hmm.
Because most people, they, like a home is like they try to avoid it and stay away as long as possible, or they are not able to feel energy enough in the morning to leave the space and to have a wonderful day and to look back at coming home again.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my gosh, I love what you said about and just to briefly go back to that painting with the boat. I mean, something like that would be perfectly placed in a man cave or a hallway or something, right? So sometimes it's like, oh, that's a great piece and that's beautiful, but it doesn't belong right there where you have it, right? So, I
Yeah.
mean, sometimes there's beautiful things in our homes and they're just in the wrong place.
Yes, and it's not just that you're in the wrong place, like because you come in and you walk away, but based on feng shui, we have what they call the energy number, and so people can actually go to the Mary Diamond app and purchase that. And based on your birthday, you can find out what your energy number is in the app, and immediately it shows a compass with 4 directions that are important for you:
Mm-hmm.
your success direction, relationship direction,
Mm-hmm.
wisdom, and health. Now, talking about relationship direction. So if you hold that compass and you have figured out, your energy number, and it shows, for example, your relationship direction is in the south,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and you hold that compass on your hand in the center of the room, and you actually are looking at what is in the south, if that for you is your relationship energy. And there's an image of a single woman, for example,
Mm.
and there's clutter there, or there's something completely different that is not inspiring romance. This will actually 24 hours a day really subconsciously give you subliminal messages to say it's okay to be lonely. Yeah.
Mm.
Now, if you then instead of that can place an image of romance there, and you do that in your bedroom, you do that in your living room, and you do that also perhaps even in your workspace if you want to. And when you place these things there, it's really interesting. You subliminal, you will start attracting more romance.
Mm.
And it's really, I've seen it so many times. People look at like, oh my God, you know what's in my relationship direction?
Yeah.
It's like the garbage bin is there, and there's like stuff there that just is not enforcing and strengthening my relationship. And the moment I switch that, it's really interesting. Things start opening up. It's a really lovely thing to work with.
Yeah, I love that you mentioned that because my bathroom is actually in my love area, which I know can be a huge challenge, right, for getting the feng shui thing done in there. So I've made some changes in there. I'm going to continue to do some things, but what are some things people can do if they have something kind of not optimal in their love area?
Well, you can always go to your success area. Your first rule is the success direction.
Mm-hmm.
So if you cannot put in your relationship, you go to your success direction because that is success in all of your
In all
life,
ways,
right?
yeah.
And so, like for you, make sure you close the bathroom and hang on the door towards the bathroom like a poster that is making you smile with, two beautiful people. And just that feels like it's not a bathroom, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the way you can do it. And definitely don't activate romance in your bathroom because I always say, you do other things in the bathroom. Right?
Yes.
So it's like I've seen people putting pictures of their loved ones and their family and their children in the bathroom. And I said, you have to activate the places where you spend time
Mm-hmm.
and like 3, 5 hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
And, if you spend 3, 5 hours a day in your bathroom, then you don't have time for love life, right?
Right. That something might be wrong. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's too funny. So question actually, because I know that you travel quite a bit, and I do some traveling as well, and I work quite a bit. So, the balance between masculine and feminine energy, and also just being in many different environments, and sometimes feeling, a little unbalanced. What do you recommend for someone who is, transitioning from space to space frequently and maintaining a really good energy in your life?
Well, I have a few things that I always have with me,
Yeah.
right? So the first thing is always have lavender mist with me or lavender essential oil.
Nice.
And so I just start spraying a hotel room or any room I am in because then it feels like I'm at home, because I love lavender,
Me
right?
too.
So whatever smell you like, lavender is really good because it cleanses the energy of the room.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever stuck energy there is, whatever old energy there is, it will actually evaporate. But some people don't like it and they love, for example, vanilla.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say take vanilla with you so that you feel everywhere there's like the same smell as home because then your senses will actually feel more at home.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's one thing. The second thing is I immediately, I have a picture of my family with me, so I always look at my compass. Where's my relationship direction? I make sure, I put a little altar there of my family with their pictures, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in my success direction, I put immediately like, my books that I have with me or any programs I have to do. I put it there. So I have like always two beautiful areas in my hotel room
Mm-hmm.
right away.
Mm-hmm.
And I use a hotel room really like this would be my room. So that means I'll clean it up, make sure there's no chaos around me, right? So it feels really lovely. And I also, I'm not just doing feng shui, I'm also a dowsing master. So I'm actually always dowsing right away the place for any stress zones and I cure them so that energy is high and vibrational, beautiful. And so, as I come into every room, I am sharing with the room, what I'm here to do. I kind of talk to the room, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, look, this is what I'm here for. I hope you will support me. And I'm grateful that I can be in your space. And when I leave, I express my gratitude. And I was actually last week with my kids in the hotel room, and so it was so funny. And my daughter is 12, and she left and she said, "Thank you, room," and
That's cute.
she has really seen this so many times from me, but it was the first time she kind of did that, and I was very proud of her actually.
That's so cute. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I sometimes when I leave a space like a vacation, right? It might be, the hotel or wherever I was hanging out with, I usually say goodbye, right?
Yeah.
To the space itself.
Yeah, because it was there a home for you for a few nights or, a few
Yeah.
days. And so, you have to honor that for sure.
Yeah, I love that. I absolutely love that. So talking a little bit about for people who enjoy being creative, maybe creating their own artwork, or people who like to select artwork, what's the power of creating your own art and placing it in your space, right? With pertains to love, and I'm kind of getting at the thing that you talked about in The Secret with
Yeah.
the fellow who had the paintings of the women on the wall that were looking away
Mhm.
from him, and how you were
Yeah.
able to change that. I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, so in the story was that this man had, created this beautiful artwork, but it was always women with like really holding a little
Yeah.
fabric and kind of looking away, like. And he was a very gorgeous film art director. And I mean, to be honest, if I would have been single, I would have been happy
Right.
with that. But I was already married for 15 years, so I didn't go there. But it was so interesting is that he was a gorgeous guy, and he was telling me I have actually tomorrow a blind date, and I'm like, oh my God, right? Now, so he did not only have that artwork, he also had placed it, interesting enough, exactly each time in his romantic direction.
Mm,
So it was a double whammy problem.
yeah.
And so as he started, really drawing and creating his art, it's like you put intention in something. It's not just
Mm,
you're just buying something. You just, put your heart and soul in what you desire. So it's actually already manifesting and visualizing your dream, right?
yeah.
So as he was drawing first to have more women, right? He actually was kind of, preparing himself for that. I think art is like you're preparing yourself for manifesting what
Mm-hmm.
your desire is, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so what happened is that he after that all happened, and he was like, okay, now I want to have romance, and he found romance, really, long-term romance with the child, was very happy. And but I have seen many people start making their own art, and that's why, like, a little bit of vision board, a vision board is like creating your own art. And without really people that know how to do that, you can always cut and paste things, and copy things and write things down. So I think your vision board is definitely a way to go. And if you know how to make art, I always say it's wonderful if you can do that, because then you are creating more energy into your home.
Yeah.
I don't have time for that, but I love designing,
Me
a
too.
place, of course. um, but I don't have time to create my own art. But a few years ago, I did a few paintings with colors, and I just loved it because I could put in so much
Mm-hmm.
intention and beauty in it. And when I looked at it, I felt so much more energized because it was my own artwork. So I definitely, if you can do that, go for that.
Yeah, and I was just thinking about kind of the recent advent of these wine nights where people go and paint, or they go and they do flower arranging, and I just love doing stuff like that. I've always been artistic, and to even just spend a few hours being creative and setting an intention for something you want to place in your home that you look at every day, I think is really fun. And I mean, art is a way of setting intentions, right?
It is. It
Yeah.
definitely is. Yeah. So if you can do that and you feel wonderful with that, just definitely do. And also, you're opening up a channel already of desire and wishes. And I always believe that the energy comes stronger. And that's why I always suggest people to make a vision board.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, if they cannot do art, in a good way, because it opens up the child energy of wonder and creativity, and it brings you to another level.
Yeah. I know that I have a few different vision boards, and I some of them are physical, and some of them are actually like I keep on my computer. I look at them every day. Which like vision boards do you kind of place where? Because I know I have. Ooh, I'm sorry. I know that I have my success, my career and professional, and I have my love, and different types of vision boards. So the placement for those is probably fairly key, right?
Yes, it
Okay.
is. It's one of the things I've been mentioning to people. It's like it's not just a vision board. You need to put in the right location. That's why when they have the app, they can actually look where's their success direction, put there, or your general vision board with all kinds of things on it. And I actually have a special program where on one vision board, based on your energy number, you put the right colors, the right keywords, the right images up. Or you say, I just put a vision board on success, on anything with career and money in my success area, because it will actually, we have seen it has 33% more results. So
Mm,
it's really quite intense.
wow.
The change that can happen with it. On the romantic level, you can put it in your health, in your relationship direction.
Mhm.
If you have a vision board on health, you put it in your health direction. If you have like an inspirational connecting with spirituality and energy, you can put it in your wisdom direction. So people have sometimes four directions, or they put everything in one big vision board,
Mhm.
and then
Big
they
vision board.
right, strong, right, and they can put it in their success direction. That is always good.
Cool. That's very good to know. This is kind of a more general question, but I just wanted to ask you, how has the almost lifelong practice of the law of attraction benefited your life and your love life?
Well, I would say, first of all, I'm 26 years married, so I think
Yeah.
that's definitely,
Congratulations. That's
yeah,
amazing.
wonderful. I attracted, from the universe three beautiful children. And I would say my um, also every step I take on this planet is based on my information and the way I do the law of attraction by not just connecting in with spirit and asking for it through prayer or meditation, but also try to have the right thoughts, right feelings, and the right actions, but also making sure my environment is supporting my law of attraction. That's where I always say to people that's the missing link. And so when you look back at the people that did The Secret, is also the people that created The Secret, the producer, the PR, the publisher. 50% of the teachers were actually my clients. So that's why they call me the secret behind The Secret, because I prepared the environment for them
Nice.
to succeed. But I think even just being in The Secret was part of using the law of attraction, because you cannot succeed in that if you are not practicing it. But for my love life, it's making sure every home I have, every day I wake up is to be grateful, for what I have as a relationship, for the father of my children, for my friend, my lover, for all the aspects of who he is, and also to make sure that you write down. I always say for people that are single, write down exactly what you desire. You know, and not just the man you want, but also, how do you want your love life to be with that man or that a woman, in your life? Just write it down. I wrote it down, and I always forgot one thing, and I would say never forget that one. Is like I didn't put in that I wanted him to be a great dance partner, so he cannot dance, my husband.
Aw.
So I'm like, that's the only thing, right? But to make sure that you describe how your relationship must be. So I described I want to have a partner that would travel the world with me, wherever I wanted to be, that would have been a great father, a great friend, a great supporter of what I'm doing in my life. And so, all the places I wanted to visit and live with him, and we have been doing all these things, and it's amazing, yeah.
That is amazing. And I love what that just brought up for me. I mean, I think, there's a lot of folks out there who know about law of attraction, but what you really hit on is that, there's an important place for being specific, right?
Mhm.
And to be consistent too.
Yeah.
Right, you can't just ask for it once and expect for it to show up. It's a way of life. It's a lifestyle. It's that specificity, that consistency, and the gratitude practice of just loving what you have right now and enjoying
Yeah.
the process and enjoying the
It
game of
is
life.
it's so important what you just sharing, because a lot of people are saying, well, I asked, and I said, yes, you asked, and he said, "But I let it go." I said, but yeah, but did you let it come to you? You
Mm.
know, it's like you say, well, I asked, and then it disappears, right? And I'm saying,
Yeah.
yeah, but did you let it come? You have to keep a constant focus on what you want to receive in your life, and you can only do that by being grateful for what you have,
Mm.
and be grateful for what is coming.
Yeah.
So let it come. Open your space for it. Open your heart for it, and don't go in anger because things are not happening like you want. I have things happen sometimes 20 years later,
Mm.
and I'm not angry at that. I just know it was perhaps not the right time, or the agendas of meeting with this person was not perfect, or
Yeah.
I don't always know when and where. I don't know always how, but it doesn't matter. You have to keep focusing and enjoying life as it is right now.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much for that. Well, everyone, Marie has been super generous and she's going to share with us a free gift today. Marie, would you like to share real quick what that is?
Yeah, of course. The first thing I'm sharing with you is a meditation that I'm always teaching everyone, and more than 1 million people worldwide have already
Wow.
started doing this practice. So it's actually to create a sacred space in you,
Mm.
because a lot of people are just not ready to open themselves up to a love life,
Mm.
or a loving life, because they are so filled in themselves with pain and sadness and anger, and they have not released that. So it's a beautiful releasing meditation that people do daily in the morning, and connecting in with their soul. It's like connecting with your soul purpose. That's the first gift. And the second gift is an ebook where we talk about success, like the first steps to do some feng shui based on what I'm sharing, as called Diamond Feng Shui. So, and that will help you. And of course, you can go to the website, marydiamond.com, and get your free messages and all wonderful things that are there.
Awesome. Everyone, check out the links below. Very generous gifts, and I can't wait to check that out. Releasing to receive. That meditation sounds really yummy to me. So great. Well, thanks everyone, and have a good one.
Thank you very much. Bye
Thanks
bye.
so much.